Alright folks, welcome back to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Our channel is dedicated to helping players improve their battlefield prowess through field command using advanced tactics. Today we've got an unusual battle here. You might recognize this, you might not, but this is the custom battle screen. You can access this from the main menu, and today we're going to do a custom battle where the odds are relatively even, but we're going to give the enemy an advantage of numerical numbers. Nice repetitive sentence there. We're going to give them more men and then try to overcome that with advanced tactics, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to, before I started this, I clicked every single button, right, so that both sides theoretically are drawing from peasants and elite units. We want the battle compositions to be very similar, right? These are identical. That way they have some elite units, some peasants, some militia, and frankly it's very similar to what you're probably dealing with if you're in the middle or early stage of the game. Then we're going to adjust the army sizes here so that the enemy has about 100 person numerical advantage, right? We're going to give them almost 20% more troops, and then we're going to even out these sliders. When I used the random, it did some crazy things. We want these to be kind of similar to what you should expect in a typical Bannerlord battle, right? A little bit of cavalry, more archers and infantry. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change this to a nice open field battle. I need like a plain or a valley here. Here's both. There's Samantha Valley, a plain, and I had a crazy girlfriend named Samantha, so that's even more apropos. Finally, I want a guy on a horse here. Let's see. This guy's got a horse. I'll be able to run around the skirts to the edge of the battle. That way you can sort of see what's going on, right? If I'm doing tactics and you can't see because it's snowing or there's trees, it's fucking worthless. This way you'll be able to actually see what's going on during this battle. So we're outnumbered significantly. If we ran this battle on auto-resolve, we would lose almost every time. We're going to try to win this battle despite being outnumbered with superior tactics. By the way, this is a new mic. If you didn't like the old mic, hopefully you like the new one. If you think it needs to be louder, or if you think I need to adjust it a little more, just let me know. I'm happy to make some changes. Now we're going to set up the army composition to look very similar to the army that you're used to seeing in my videos. Now I don't have elite companions to put in the 8th. What I can do is I can select heavy armor and higher tiered units. And by default, this unit now, this 8th Corps, has good units in it, right? We're going to have some skirmishers. I want these guys to have javelins and shields, right? About a third of the infantry. I want 2 archer wings, and I want 2 cavalry wings. By the way, if you don't know, I have a speech impediment that prevents me from saying the word cavalry. It's called stupidity. I cannot say it correctly very often. It's cavalry, and I often say it calvary. Just bear with me on that. I'm working on it, but it's an old dog, new trick kind of problem. So like I said, I wanted 2 archer wings. Got an archer wing right here. We'll try not to butcher cavalry too much, but it's invariably going to happen. I want 2 archer wings because they can flank, they can use elevation. There's a lot of advantages and dynamism from having multiple units. That's why I use all 8 units. Similarly, my 3rd cavalry, this is going to be a defensive cavalry force. My 2nd cavalry, these guys attack. These guys are my attacking, assigned to destroy the enemy cavalry. And then I have my 1st infantry, right? So we're going to have a basic setup, 1st infantry in front, 4th infantry behind them, and advance on the enemy. And then on the flanks, we're going to roll out the 5th, 6th, and 8th Corps to flank the enemy. The other forces are sort of supplementary. I'll use my cavalry to sort of counterpunch their heavy horse, and we may use it at the end also to envelop the enemy. So enough of that. We will roll right into this battle. The very first thing is I like to spread my 4th, 5th, 6th, and 8th division, right? Your archers want to be spread, and your infantry you want packed together, right? Or you want them right next to each other. So my 1st infantry got in a big line out in the front, and then archers behind them. On this flank over here now, we're going to drag the 5th archers, the skirmishers, and the 8th Corps, all kind of right next to each other. Now we're going to give them protection. We're going to set up that 3rd cavalry in a screen. See, it's like 2 or 3 deep. Tell them to shield well, and the purpose of that is basically to prevent the enemy from charging through and totally destroying that flank. If you bring forces out on a flank and they have no protection, well, they will just get attacked and then ran down, and your flanking attack will be finished, right? You have to have some level of protection for them. So I also told my 2nd cavalry to kill those horse archers, and mostly I'm doing that to delay those horse archers. I don't want them pouring arrows into my troops while we move into formation. Now, I don't remember. I thought I had held fire. Evidently not. I'm going to get these troops a little closer here before we start shooting at the enemy. So this cavalry group there, oops, I didn't mean to get off. This cavalry is a major threat. Right? This group on my right. So that's what this 3rd Cavalry is here for. They're here to screen. They're here to limit how much damage that enemy cavalry wing can do to us. Got this nice little hill I can command my units from. Right, we're going to bring our archers up onto the side of this hill to gain even more elevation on the enemy. All I'm doing here is just keeping the same formation and sort of pushing wider out in this direction. These guys are absorbing arrows down there. I got my elite 8th Corps, the 5th Corps, which is archers, and then the skirmishers all moving in, kind of at an angle on the enemy. Alright, cavalry did a nice job of chasing their archers off. My infantry's moving up, and now we can open fire. I like to be about 150 units or closer before I open fire. My guys now get a chance to shoot, right? The enemy's been shooting for a while. This 5th Cavalry, I'm going to try to get even higher up on this hill. So it's facing the enemy. I want the 3rd Cavalry shielding down here. You can see it's like almost directly in the face of the enemy cavalry. And then I'm going to put skirmishers also right on this ridge. So they're scoring some long-range kills. Remember, we're outnumbered. Right? We're outnumbered. They have more archers. They have more cavalry. They have more everything. They have horse archers. We don't. I guess I'm the horse archers. Right, so we're going to have to be creative with tactics here to win this battle. Skirmishers are tucked in tightly behind this 3rd Cavalry line. Right? That way, if the enemy does charge, there's an infantry line right there ready to attack the enemy. They're starting to move their infantry. So, what we want to do is we want to envelop / surround these infantry as they come in. Now, how do you do that? One of the ways you do that, of course, is with the setup we've already done. This flanking attack. See these skirmishers? If the enemy charges my infantry that I just moved back, they're going to be on the enemy's side. Now, I have to watch out for their heavy cavalry, but I'm hoping this block of enemy cavalry right here, that, by the way, is contributing. They're out there throwing javelins. I'm hoping that their contribution will be significant to stopping the enemy cavalry, because my other cavalry wing, I need to attack the enemy's other cavalry wing. These cavalry wings, these enemy cavalry wings, are going to attack soon, and when they do, I need to be able to counter it. So I'm moving my 1st infantry back further, and at this stage, my skirmishers are now starting to throw javelins in there. I'm moving my 8th Corps a little closer as well. And on the far side over there, I'm sending my 2nd Cavalry because I anticipate them charging soon with their heavy cavalry. I'm getting in the way of my own guys there. So now, right now, I'm going to just slow this way down. You see where the enemy is. They're really pinched in between. My infantry's here. My archers are shooting them on the side. And this 6th is about to attack them. So it's 6th gets told to attack. The 3rd is screening the cavalry there. The 8th is told to attack, and then the 1st is also brought forward, physically brought forward. Look at this job these guys did. They stopped that mountain of cavalry, and they let like 2 guys sneak through. Now this infantry is largely surrounded, but we're going to coup de grace here. Right? The finishing touch is we're going to bring in these cavalry that I sent over there to countercharge. We're going to bring them in by following me. Now all these units attack at once. This is the 1st, 6th, 8th, and that 2nd Cavalry as well. And this cavalry wave, now that they've attacked and speared guys, I'm now dragging them through, right into the mass, right to the back of the enemy that charged me there. Right? My archers are largely unimpeded there and on the other side. Right? You can see how safe most of my units are. And at this stage, you can F1, F3. All the units are near somebody, they can attack. Nobody needs to be like defensive at this stage. The key to that is that we just completely overwhelm their infantry corps. Right? There's still a few guys left, and I'm going to drag my 2nd Cavalry through them, but they suffered major losses in that flanking attack. Right, so now I'm physically dragging my 2nd Cavalry behind me. And we're just going to drive it right through their remaining forces. These guys have bolted. In fact, a lot of their troops have decided they've had enough. their commander, they've decided, is inferior. They want to go home to their warm bed and wife, and these guys are out of here. You can break the enemy's morale. Of course, you don't have to destroy all their troops. We've got a few troops over here that still have enough spirit. They're going to put up a little sad effort killing a few of our troops on the way out here, but I just assigned the 2nd Cavalry to attack them, and these guys, besides getting shot off their horses, they're also going to get trounced by cavalry. And just like that, the enemy's had enough, right? Some heads are rolling around from the defeated troops that we just crushed. We suffered some losses, of course, but by decimating and massacring their vanguard, their archers and main infantry unit, we basically swung a battle that would be very difficult very readily into our favor. In fact, all the units survived, except the 3rd. That screening 3rd, actually, they ended up all dying. The other units have significant men that were uninjured. In fact, we suffered less injuries and deaths than troops that are less, which is amazing, right? We suffered basically 40% casualties, and the entire force of enemies that outnumbered us, they ran. Right? They either ran or were killed on the battlefield. Still got some overzealous peasants over there chasing after the Lord. Maybe he was cruel to their grandfather or something. Those guys they're out for blood. Fuck you! Let's kill the Lord. Look, they're all chasing after him. But hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully it's a good example of how with superior tactics, here, we'll send all these cavalry off to go kill. Hopefully you can see with superior tactics that you can defeat opponents that are daunting or overwhelming even, and still have resounding success. We'll do 3, 4, 5 of these, maybe certain circumstances depending on what subscribers would like to see. I'm not a master of every single kind of combat in Bannerlord, but I have a lot of experience, and hopefully I can share that experience with you guys and you can experience similar success. Thanks again for watching. Please comment, like, all that kind of stuff. It draws more people to the channel. More people, hopefully we can get more ideas about different ways to approach combat, and we can all get better at this awesome game. So thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you friends next time. I love all the joyous troops. Look at them run. That's my favorite too. Oh, we whipped the bastards. You gotta love it.